Hello and welcome to the summary of The Eye of the World. To give you a little history, I read the first 8 books back in the 90s before life got in the way, so I never got around to finishing it, but with the TV show coming out very soon, now is a good opportunity to revisit this epic fantasy story. So, without further ado, here is Eye of the World. In the prologue, in a past age, we are introduced to Lews Therin, a hero also known as the Dragon. The magic in this world is known as the One Power, and it is used by a process known as channeling. The One Power is divided into 2 halves, the female side, Sidar, and the male side, Sidon. However, Sidon, the male half, has been corrupted by the hero's nemesis, the Dark One, or Beelzemon, who works in concert with 13 Forsaken, men and women that can channel and have allied with the Dark One. Lews Therin can channel, but because of the corruption, it has driven him mad, causing him to kill everyone around him, including his family. One of the Forsaken, who calls himself Alan Morin Tedranai, shows the damage he has wrought. Upon realizing what he's done, Lews Therin becomes racked with grief. He channels Sidon and teleports away to an empty field. In his rage and sadness, he channels more of the One Power than he can safely handle. Lightning strikes the ground, the earth tears asunder, and lava shoots from the cracks in the earth. After a time, the ground settles. Lews Therin is gone, and in his place, an impossibly tall mountain named Dragon Mount stands. Other male channelers would go mad and wreak havoc upon the land during this time as well. This event came to be known as the Breaking of the World. A prophecy would endure throughout the ages that says when the dragon is reborn, the final battle with the Dark One will occur. Fast forward to another age, and we are in a small farming village known as Emond's Field. Here, we are introduced to 3 young men: Matt Cawthon, a mischievous one who enjoys playing tricks; Perrin Ibarra, a thoughtful lad who works at the local blacksmith; and Rand al'Thor, a shepherd's son with red hair and gray eyes. Along with these 3 men, we're introduced to 2 other characters: Nynaeve, a young woman who is the village wisdom. Wisdoms provide the caretaking of illnesses and injuries for the village; and Egwene, a young woman who is slated to be married to Rand al'Thor and is training to becoming wisdom herself. This small village is astounded by the arrival of an Aes Sedai named Moraine and her warder, Lan. Now, Aes Sedai are women who can channel. They exist primarily to advise nations and kings and queens, but also to prevent another breaking of the world by hunting down men who can channel. They operate out of the White Tower in Tar Valon and are separated into different colored groups known as Aja, each focused on specific tasks. Warders are the primary bodyguards of the Aes Sedai. While they do not channel, being bonded to an Aes Sedai confers benefits such as increased endurance, strength, and speed. A few other characters also arrive: a peddler named Padan Fain, as he does every year, showing up to bring news from the outside world and also to trade goods, as well as a bard and gifted storyteller named Tom Maryland. And last but not least, we are introduced to the real hero of this series, Bella. At night, Emond's Field is attacked by Trollocs, animal-like humanoids led by Fades, humanoids dressed in all black, eyeless, and with pale skin. They successfully repel the dark forces, but discover the reason for the attack. The Dark One believes the Dragon Reborn is in this village, and it could be Matt, Perrin, or Rand. Rand's dad, Tam al'Thor, was injured in the attack, and in an effort to prevent another attack on their village, the 3 young men agree to flee to Tar Valon with Moraine and Lan. Nynaeve and Egwene also accompany them, along with Tom Maryland. Padan Fain, the peddler, is nowhere to be found. This quest leads them through various towns. In one town, Berlon, we meet a young girl named Min who has short hair and dresses like a bit of a tomboy. She is a friend of Moraine's and has a gift for reading people's futures. She states that they are all surrounded by danger. After many attempts to outrun their enemies, Moraine and company make a last desperate attempt and flee into the cursed city of Shadar Logoth. In ages past, a man named Mordeth lived in this very city and thought to fight the Dark One using dark powers. Unfortunately, this would forever corrupt him, and the entire population of the city vanished without a trace. Anyone who enters Shadar Logoth, light or dark, would be in danger. Still, Trollocs and Fades brave the cursed city to find the Dragon Reborn. In their haste to escape, the party becomes separated. Each party eventually makes their way to Caemlyn, a city south of Tar Valon. Along the way, they encounter various situations. Perrin and Egwene meet Elias, a man with golden eyes who talks to wolves. Perrin discovers that he himself can talk to wolves. They also encounter a band of brightly dressed nomads named Tuatha'an, or more easily pronounced Tinkers. And finally, they encounter and are captured by a group known as the White Cloaks, or the Children of the Light, a religious organization whose sole mission is to find and kill evil in order to prevent the Dark One from gaining power. They believe anyone using the power is a dark friend, and thus believe Aes Sedai are evil as well. Moraine, Lan, and Nynaeve end up finding each other, and we find out later on that Nynaeve confesses feelings for Lan. He reciprocates but feels duty-bound in his role as a warder. Moraine and company eventually rescue Egwene and Perrin from the White Cloaks, and they all head to Caemlyn. Meanwhile, Rand, Matt, and Tom jump on a boat with Captain Bail Domon to escape the Trollocs. They head downstream and make a stop at a town named Whitebridge. While in town, they are ambushed by a Fade. Tom dies, quote-unquote, to a Fade as Rand and Matt escape. While hopping from town to town, Rand and Matt are attacked by Dark Friends, humans that serve the Dark One, but they are able to escape each time. Rand discovers that Matt stole a ruby dagger from Shadar Logoth, which is slowly corrupting him. Rand and Matt make it to Caemlyn first, and we are introduced to another new character, Logain, a man who can channel but is deemed a false dragon. He has been captured by the Aes Sedai and is en route to Tar Valon to be gentled. Gently involves severing a man's ability to access Sidon, prevents him from going mad, but usually results in depression and suicide of the recipient. Rand also meets Elaine, the Princess of Andor, her prince brother Gawain, and her half-brother Galad. When royalty in Andor come of age, the women are sent to become Aes Sedai and the men are sent to become warders. The party also meets Loyal, an Ogier. Ogier are tall humanoid creatures with horns and broad features, similar to Trollocs but not quite. Also known as builders, they are responsible for much of the ancient architecture throughout the world and reside in habitats known as steadings. Eventually the party reunites. Moraine notices Matt's corruption from the dagger he stole earlier. She is able to heal and restore him back to normal, but the dagger remains tied to him. From Caemlyn, instead of going straight to Tar Valon, Moraine decides that they need to go to Faldara, a border town near the Blight. The Blight is an inhospitable desert surrounded by mountains from which Trollocs and other dark creatures are constantly trying to fight their way in. Moraine believes the Green Man, an ancient tree-like being that guides the Eye of the World within the Blight, is the key to stopping the Dark One. The Eye of the World is a pool of untainted Sidon, the male magic source. In order to hasten their journey, they take a waygate, ancient gateways inside of Ogier steadings that allow travelers to quickly traverse great distances. The pathways within these gates have long been corrupted and are devoid of any light and are extremely dangerous. Using Loyal's ability to read the ancient text on stone guidings, they narrowly avoid being killed by an inhabitant of the ways, Machin Shin, also known as the Black Wind. Once safely in Faldara, they meet the Lord of the City, Agomar, and a Shanaran soldier named Ingtar. We also find out that Padden Fane was captured and is currently held prisoner. The party makes haste into the Blight to find the Green Man while the Faldaran soldiers ride out to repel an army of Trollocs and other dark forces headed their way. Once at the Eye, they meet and fight with two of the Forsaken, Agonor and Balthamel. Balthamel is killed by the Green Man, who also dies during the fight. The others are hurt, and it is here that Rand consciously channels Sidon for the first time, killing Agonor and revealing himself to be the Dragon Reborn. When Rand comes to, the Eye is gone, but the party finds a chest containing the Horn of Valir and a banner of the dragon, as well as two broken pieces of pottery. The pottery turns out to be one of the 7 seals imprisoning the Dark One in Sheo Ghul, while the horn is said to bring back heroes from the dead in time of need. Moraine remarks that Ilion, a country on the southern end of the map, is famous for hosting the Great Hunt, an event where people from around the world attempt to find the horn. The Great Hunt is, coincidentally, the name of the next book in the Wheel of Time series. I hope you enjoyed the summary of the first book of the Wheel of Time. This is the first time I've ever done one of these, and maybe I'll do more in the future. I can't tell you how excited I am that the TV series is just around the corner, though. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Were there any details I missed or should be added in? Be sure to comment below.